Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Amateur Commentator. Here we are with another segment of the IPL pre-season review for one another team. In this episode, we'll be discussing about Lucknow Super Giants. Hi, Somit. How are you? And let's talk about Lucknow Super Giants.
Yeah, hi Anshul. New beginning for a new team, Lucknow Super Giants. They've got KL Rahul as their captain. They picked up Rashid Khan and Ravi Bishnoi before the auctions. The team looks good. It has got a strong core of Indian players as well. I think it has been a good start for them. It would be interesting to see how Deepak Hooda and Krunal Pandya both go in the same team. Yeah, let's start with the prospective playing 11. What we have decided is that KL Rahul and Quinton de Kock should open. I think the team would go that way. De Kock has been a good opener for the Mumbai Indians. Currently, I think Evan Lewis will take his spot at number 3 position, considering the unavailability of some of the other internationals. I think Pandya would play at 4th. Hooda and Pandya would make up the top 6. And then it's either Krishnappa Gowtham or Shahbaz Nadeem, whichever option I think they would like. They may pick. I think it will also depend on the opposition. If they have a lot of left-handers, I think they would go with the off-spin of Krishnappa Gowtham. And then finishing up with Tai, Chamira, Ravi Bishnoi and Avesh Khan. So that looks quite a good pace bowling attack as well. What are your views on the playing 11?
Yeah, it looks a very good playing 11 considering the players who are available. But the biggest blow for them, I would consider, is unavailability of Mark Wood, because probably the 3 of the fastest bowlers who were there in the auction, they are not playing this IPL. So I believe Mark Wood is a big blow for them. I'm not sure how much Andrew Tye will be able to do justice when we are comparing the talent and what Mark Wood would have been able to bring onto the table. Saying that, Marcus Stoinis is also been not available for initial part of the tournament. Jason Holder and Myers also, they will also be not available because they are playing against England in West Indies. So they will have to be a bit cautious going into the tournament, at least in the initial 3-4 matches, considering the unavailability of these players. But it will be also very important how KL Rahul is performing. As we have talked a number of times, we see an entire different KL Rahul when he is the captain of the team. I just hope, for the sake of Lucknow Super Giant, that is something which we do not see. We would want to see an explosive KL Rahul, because when he is playing at his very best, he will be able to win single-handedly for Lucknow Super Giant at least 3 or 4, maybe 4 matches out of the 14 matches for them. Saying that, I would probably prefer Evan Lewis. Even when Stoinis is brought back, I would probably play Evan Lewis and Stoinis both, considering they do not have a very extended batting lineup. We would be playing Gowtham or Shahbaz Nadeem at number 7. So that's why if Evan Lewis is performing well, probably I would initially go with both of them, Stoinis and Evan Lewis both, if they are performing well. What's your opinion?
I think during the auction, one thing was pretty clear, that they were going for a pretty strong core of all-rounders. Basically, if both Stoinis and Holder would have been available, they would have had a number 4 to 7 with all the all-rounders. They would have had Stoinis at 4. It would have been Hooda at 5, Krunal at 6, and Holder at 7. And I think that would have given their batting lineup a great strength. And it would have also helped them with the bowling as well. So the unavailability of Stoinis and Holder, I think in the initial days may peg them back a bit. But saying that it still looks strong. The first 11 still looks strong. And my only concern is that Evan Lewis is more of an opener. Playing at number 3, I have my doubts about it. How is he going to play spin? And whether that means KL actually coming in at number 3, that's another question mark. But I do agree with you. A lot of what Lucknow does will depend on how KL performs. If it's the KL Rahul of 2018, then we are on for a good, in fact, a great show. Rahul and de Kock opening the batting, left hand, right hand combination, both attacking players. I still have my doubt over which KL Rahul actually is going to turn up.
Now, another positive thing for Lucknow would be, Quintet de Kock opening the innings for them, and he has experience playing in Mumbai. Although they will not play entirety of their matches in Wankhede, but at least he'll have the understanding of the surrounding for the matches where when Lucknow will play in Wankhede. And another factor for Lucknow is we did not see Marcus Stoinis bowling a lot in BBL as well. So I'm not sure whether he's bowling fit or he will be only considered if the five bowlers are not able to do the job for them. And the second part we talked about Lewis is potentially an opener and is not considered a very good batsman against spin bowler. Even for Stoinis, he has not performed well batting, at least in the middle and the lower order in IPL. Although he has played only a few matches in the top of the order, but he scored better runs at a better strike rate, opening the innings for Delhi. What's your opinion? Like, if you have Stoinis and Evan Lewis both at, say, 3, 4, or 5, which one would you pick if both are scoring at the lower strike rate?
I would actually initially go with Stoinis whenever he is available because he also provides me with a bowling option. But I don't think that it's absolutely necessary for him to bowl because this team actually has a lot of bowling options available with them. So I'd go with Stoinis considering the form he was in last year's World Cup, and he in general his IPL form has been pretty good. So I would rather go with Stoinis in the initial few matches whenever he is available. Saying that it also depends on how Lewis performs because I think he will be getting his chances in the first couple of games. My concern actually with Lucknow is not whether Stoinis is available or Evan Lewis is playing. It's more to do with the consistency of their middle order with Pandya, Hooda, and Krunal Pandya. We have seen that over the last couple of years, Krunal Pandya is not the same batsman that he was in the 2016, 2017, 2018 kind of season. His batting has waned up a bit. Manish Pandey, again, great prospect. I think one of those players whose potential has not been realized properly, especially when it comes to international cricket. So I think again this would be another opportunity for him to show how good a player he is. Deepak Hooda is actually coming into his own right now. He moved from Baroda to Rajasthan, so that move has helped him a lot. So yeah, I mean the consistency of that middle order is a bit questionable, and considering that someone like Gowtham or Sarfraz Nadeem would be batting at number 7, that's a couple of position, at least one position too high for either of them, whoever is playing. So yeah, my concern is actually that middle to lower middle order for Lucknow.
I think the seventh position would be filled by Jason Hooda as soon as he is available. So
Yes.
I think at least in that regard, they should be fairly okay. Talking about Deepak Hooda and Krunal Pandya, I think it's just because of the history between them. They would try to outperform each other, and way I think it would be better for if we are able to see them batting together. I just hope that there is not a run-out scenario when they are batting together in the middle.
Yeah.
But one of the other things which I wanted to talk about is Dushmanta Chamira. I'm not sure whether he has regained his full fitness after the India-Sri Lanka series. If he's not available, then it will be another blow for Lucknow because they would essentially field with a playing 11 where they will not be, playing with 4 internationals if he's not available as well in the starting matches.
So yeah, Chamira and Avesh Khan, those are two actually pretty decent, pretty good young prospects. Chamira has been doing well for Sri Lanka in limited overs. He has got the pace. We have seen him make Rohit Sharma his bunny actually. Every time he goes out onto the pitch, he has picked up Rohit Sharma. So, and Rohit is a pretty damn good batsman when it comes to opening the batting, top of the order. So I think I'm looking forward to actually Chamira doing well. I hope that he does well. If Mark would have been in the squad, I think Chamira would have been the second choice for them. But considering that Wood is not there, and as much as Ty has got experience and knows the T20 game pretty well, has been doing well over the years, I would still prefer a Chamira over Ty when all the foreign options are available for Lucknow. Because I think raw pace is something that helps a lot. And for someone who has been following Delhi Capitals a lot, I think the fact that they had Avesh, they had the likes of Nokia and Rabada, I think that raw pace helped Delhi a lot in the past few seasons. So Avesh coming here with Chamira, I think that's going to be that's going to be a sight to see. Let's see how they perform. So
Absolutely.
yeah, let's move to the spin part of Lucknow. While they have the likes of Hooda and Krunal Pandya who can roll their arms over, and Krunal is I think a better bowler than a batsman, although that's quite questionable and it could go either way. But the main strength in spin bowling is Ravi Bishnoi. He has started pretty well for India. What do you think a Bishnoi Nadeem combination or Bishnoi Gowtham combination? It's an all India spin attack kind of. They don't have a
Yeah.
foreign spinner. So yeah, how do you see the spin bowling lineup?
I think they have a very good spinner in Ravi Bishnoi. I'm just a bit concerned when we are talking about Shahbaz Nadeem because traditionally the grounds in Mumbai are small, and if you have a lot of left-handers in the opposition, it's not because Gautam will be a better bowler to left-handed. It's just because Nadeem would be easier to hit because the amount of variation he has as a left-arm orthodox, it's not too much. So that's why I feel Bishnoi would be the main bowler for them, and yes, probably Kunal Pandya as a second spinner who will probably give them 4 overs. But again, Gautam and Hooda, I would consider them as a helping hand where these two bowlers will combine together to give them 4 overs.
So who are the players that you are looking for from Lucknow throughout the season? Who you'll be keeping an eye on?
The first player I would really like to perform well is Deepak Hooda. Based on the uh, limited opportunities which he has received for the India team, he has performed really well, and it will be important for him to perform consistently across the season. Because again, as we have talked about it earlier as well, India will go down to Australia to play the T20 World Cup, and he can present a very strong case for himself when he's able to perform in both the categories, batting and bowling. And he's a fairly decent fielder out there in the outfield. The second bowler is, yes, Ravi Bishnoi, because as we have seen, Kuldeep Yadav and Chahal slowly they have not been in the best of forms in T20 cricket. Chahal, although performed fairly well against West Indies and Sri Lanka in the recently concluded limited over series, but for Ravi Bishnoi to be the second option as a frontline spinner, it will be important for him as well this season. So these are the two players apart from, yes, definitely KL Rahul in terms of his approach, not in terms of the amount of runs which is scoring. Even if he's scoring 40 runs out of 20 balls, I'll probably be much more happier as comparison to seeing him scoring 70 or 80 runs out of 50, 60 balls.
Yeah, I think another player to watch out for is actually Avesh Khan. Avesh has been has done pretty well for Delhi, and now that he's in a new franchisee, and he would be looking to nail his India spot as well. So I think I would be also interested to see how Avesh performs, especially in an attack where he may have to lead the attack in some sense, in the absence of Mark Wood, being a frontline bowler and maybe not having to bowl behind Nokia and Rabada. I think that would show his character, his temperament. So that is another person that I'm looking forward to. But I agree, it's Bishnoi, Hooda, KL Rahul. I think this is one of those sides where the Indian contingent is pretty decent, pretty strong, and it will mainly depend on how their Indian players perform
Yeah, absolutely.
rather than how their foreign player performs. Because I think the foreigners would be mostly filling in the gaps in some ways. Although Holder and having Holder and Stoinis is any day a great, I mean, a great couple of players to have in that lineup, especially both being all rounders as well. So, what are your prediction for Lucknow? Where do you see them finishing this season?
I think Lucknow is among the teams who is a strong contender for at least the third or the fourth spot, because as you spoke about, they have a very strong Indian lineup, and I would not be surprised if they are a team who are in the top four after the playoffs, before the playoffs. So yeah, that is something which I'll not be surprised if they are able to reach the playoff. What about you?
Yeah, yeah, I think I see them as mid-table. I don't see them as top one, top in the top three at least. But I think they've got a decent side. It's just that it's a new side, and they don't have a lot of experience of IPL. So managing their players, managing the team, it would be a challenge for them. Well, the team is pretty good and pretty decent, but that could be said about almost all the teams. Every team has some weaknesses, every team has some
Mhm.
strengths. But when you see teams like RCB, when you see teams like SRH who have already been there, so I think I feel that Lucknow would be there or thereabout. I think the fourth position is going to be pretty well contested this time around as well, and we have seen that happening over the past 2 years as well. So a lot will depend on how they perform. Uh, I guess against teams like SRH, against team like against teams like Rajasthan Royals or Punjab Kings. So all these would be kind of jostling for that number four position. So I see them doing well, mid-table, possibly number fourth if things go all right for them.
Sure. I think, that is something which I would also expect. Saying that, that was it from our end regarding Lucknow Super Giant preseason review. Request everyone to like, subscribe, and share our content.